Well, another season of High School DxD has come and passed, and I have to say that Hero has been the best one for me so far, for a multitude of reasons. Come join me as I go over the incredible experience that is High School DxD Hero.
Sweet on, sweet on.
First off, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I want to start by giving you a short description of what Hero covers. High School DxD Hero is the adaptation of volumes 9 and 10 of the light novels that get into some of the biggest and most important developments in the story, such as the battle with the Hero faction and the rating game match with Side.O. There are also some more characters introduced, including my two favorites, Kuno and Leafei Pendragon, and I'll get into those more a little later on. However, like I just stated, Volumes 9 and 10 have some really important developments in them, and that means accuracy is key. As some of you may know, the first 3 seasons of the series were pretty accurate, up until the last half of Born where the adaptation took a nosedive. However, with Hero, we're back on track with the source material, as we start off with the canon ending of Born, and then head directly into the Kyoto arc. And I have to say, I haven't seen this excellent accuracy of an adaptation in a seriously long time. Hero does a magnificent job following the material and making sure that all the important and impactful parts stay intact. Now this isn't to say that there aren't a few slight differences, because there are some small anime-only moments here and there, but they're excellently placed to where they don't replace or take away from any of the important developments in the story, which is a hell of a lot more than I can say for the series' last studio, which nearly ruined it with over excessive amounts of fan service. Which brings me to my next point about Hero. Unlike the first 3 seasons where fan service was abundant, Hero, though it does have some fan service moments in it, they are few, and the reason for this is because volumes 9 and 10 don't have many fan service moments in them themselves, they're more story oriented. However, the fan service that Hero does have is quite excellent, and it's not overdone either. And what I mean by this is that there's no fan service used in scenes where there shouldn't be any. For example, in the past 3 seasons, there was quite a few scenes where fan service was used when it wasn't needed. A lot of scenes where action or drama was supposed to be the main focus point ended up losing their impact due to misuse or overuse of fan service. And yes, I know not everyone sees it this way. Some actually feel that the fan service made the scenes more impactful. However, if you ask me, scenes where action or drama is supposed to be the main focus need to stay centered around those elements, that way the attention stays where it's supposed to be. Don't get me wrong, fan service is great, I love it, but if it's misused or overused, it can totally ruin a scene. Now to go over some of the newly introduced characters that come into Hero, starting with Yasuka and Kuno. Yasuka is the leader of the yokai clan that watches over Kyoto. She's a 9-tailed fox yokai with the power level of an ultimate class devil. She also has a 9-tailed fox form, but is mainly seen in human form throughout the series. Her daughter Kuno is the princess of the yokai clan, and Kuno does have the ability to use an attack called Foxfire, however due to her young age, it's extremely weak right now. And both Kuno and her mother play an extremely important part in the first arc of the series. Now Leafei Pendragon, on the other hand, is another newly introduced character, but if you feel that her last name sounds familiar, you wouldn't be wrong, because Leafei is the younger sister of Arthur Pendragon, and as we know, Arthur first made his appearance in Season 3. And yes, both Arthur and his sister are on Volley's team. They're no longer part of the Chaos Brigade, but they're part of Volley's team. An interesting fact about Leafei though is that she's a huge Ulpai Dragon fan. The sad thing is though, is that she only gets one appearance throughout the series, which is in the first arc. However, in the light novel she starts making more appearances starting with volume 11. So hopefully if we get a 5th season, we'll get to see a lot more of her. 2 more characters that I really need to touch base on a little bit before we move on to the next portion is Sol and the Hero faction. Sol is the leader of the Hero faction that is part of the Chaos Brigade guided by Orphis. He's also the descendant of late Sol from the 3 Kingdoms, and is the possessor of the sacred gear True Longness Spear. Soulstone and the Hero faction also play an extremely important part in Issei's developments that take place in the first half of the series. But to avoid spoiling, I'm going to leave the details out. You're just going to have to watch and find out what those are for yourself. Now I would like to talk a little bit about the importance that the Ult Dragon theme song has, because I know a lot of anime-only fans have been wondering about it, wondering what type of importance it has in the story. Well, let me inform you. The title Ult Dragon was first thought up by the children of the underworld after seeing television broadcasts of Issei's battles, which then spawned the theme song, as well as the Ult Dragon television show, and this was made clear in Season 3. However, both the title and the theme song play a really important role in the story as well as in Issei's development as a character, and the second half of Hero goes into this quite a bit, starting with Issei's encounter with young Lelandkiss at the school festival. At first, Issei himself didn't understand the importance behind it all. He thought that the broadcast, as well as the theme song, were simply for children's entertainment, and he was doing it for the royal family. However, after meeting Lelandkiss, he starts to understand that these kids, they don't just like him because he's the Ult Dragon, but they look up to him and admire him as their hero. This in turn makes Issei want to become stronger so that he can be the hero that the children see him as. And in the light novels, this actually explained a bit more with some inner monologue that is provided by Issei. However, Hero still does a magnificent job relaying the message with some very beautiful and touching key scenes. This love, respect, and admiration that Issei has gained from these kids would not have even been possible if not for that theme song and the Ult Dragon television show. Now, it's important that you understand that the studio changed from TNK to Passione for the 4th season. And there are reasons for this, which I explained in my High School DxD HERO First Glance, so if you're interested in knowing why, you can check out that video. But I honestly feel that Passione did a really good job with the series. Now, this isn't to say that the designs were perfect, because there are some scenes that don't look as good as others, but for the most part, I really enjoyed the new look. Now, as far as the animation goes, it was way better than it had been in any of the past 3 seasons. A lot of the battle scenes looked and felt a lot more intense thanks to the wonderful frame-per-frame animation that was used, unlike the past 3 seasons where a lot of the battle scenes were mainly slideshows or still shots. In Hero, we get movement-per-movement action, which makes for an incredible experience, and the action only intensifies and gets better as we break into the second half with the rating game match. If you haven't seen High School DxD HERO yet, I so recommend that you do so. It is totally worth it for the accuracy and the storytelling, as well as some very beautiful and important key scenes and battles, although there are some that I know anime-onlys won't recognize due to TNK cutting out too much content from Season 3. So I also recommend reading volumes 8 through 10 of the light novels, that way when you see these scenes in the series, you won't feel confused. And this is going to conclude it for me today, guys. I hope you all have enjoyed this cosplayed review of High School DxD HERO. The next review is going to be on Gun Gale Online Alternative, so please look forward to it. And until next time, I'm Keiva Takadiri. Catch you in the next one.